This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman and Riley Smith. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Well, good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Friday, July 22nd of 2022. We're so glad you can join us here from the Iowa State Fairgrounds. In today's episode of Ag Matters PM, I talked with Iowa State Fair CEO Gary Slater. We talked about just having the second year out from the pandemic, that cancellation year, some new things that you can expect this year, and even a bit on the new fair foods. We also have a look at that ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Well, we're at the end of another day in the ag marketplace, the end of the week here in the trading session. And for a bit of analysis, we go to Nathan Cardwell of agmarket.net. Nathan, what do we see going on in that marketplace today?
Well, overall, I wish we had some better news for you. Starting off this month, seems corn's been down over 50 cents, beans down over $1.60, wheat's down over $1 as well, and seems like that trend continues today. We saw beans make new lows overnight down to $12.88. Then we found some short covering occurring, which brought us back above 13. Could have been from the crush being strong. Taking a look at the wheat, that also made new lows in the December contract down to $7.77. The big headline today that pushed the wheat down the most and possibly the leader of today's negativity was a deal signed with Ukraine and Russia. Seems like they were able to get some ink on the dotted line, although it was two separate agreements. They were able to finalize something where they would possibly be able to get some exports out of the ports. Still a tall ask. They did have pre-war exports of around 5 million. Possibly the market's expecting that to occur, but there is a lot still to be left to be done, such as demining the ports to allow the ships to transit, and then also inspections to make sure the cargoes are what they say they are. So all in all, that deal did put a lot of pressure into the wheat market. Corn also did not miss out. It was also lower today, making new lows in the December contract down to $5.63. It is interesting, I will continue in regards to, it is interesting to see that so much negativity in these markets during such a critical time of the growing season. All in all, corn and beans are both, 25% of the production is in a drought area, experiencing that heat and dryness. Globally, Europe, Argentina, and the U.S. are all experiencing high heat and dryness, and we still have record yields projected. So whether or not those will come to fruition will still be seen. China will also be having a heat wave next week as well. So we'll be looking to see if these good, excellent ratings can possibly change this yield moving forward.
Right, and of course, a big thing we talk about is the fact that you never know what the crop's going to be until it's in the bin. And of course, right, we're seeing that right now, just a lot of speculation. Do we think these issues with, export deals and these prices being down be a little prolonged, or could we see some of that demand return, especially with, Brazil, South America, those places are looking a little short on supply, especially for stuff like soybeans?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always good to see China, our number one customer, come back into the picture. We have seen some 8 a.m. sales take place, which is good. Not sure if Brazil will be able to suffice all of China's needs, but hopefully we'll be able to get some of that leftover.
All right, and what are we seeing on the other side of the ag marketplace in the livestock complex?
Absolutely. Cattle was a little bit mixed today, and then all of a sudden it found strength. The cattle on feed report is going to be coming out this afternoon, so we look to see what they have in store. although we are hearing placements are going to be lower. And then also Q2, quarter two for next year, we could see 10% lower of the cattle head. So all in all, that gave strength to the complex, possibly see up around 190 if this support continues. Looking at hogs, they are also finding strength as well. This heat is not allowing a lot of movement. Production is low, and they're also up and around their highs, and we'll see if that continues.
Right, and of course, we're still in the midst of summer, which is the greatest demand time for livestock and meat products in general. How much longer do we think that demand period goes on, or when do we usually see that start to drop off?
Well, we'll see. Hopefully, it always picks up around the holidays. Hopefully, we'll start to see some of this demand pick up as we get towards the end of this new year.
All right. Well, lots of great information today, Nathan. For those of our listeners and our watchers who would like to learn more and get in touch, how can they reach the folks at agmarket.net?
Absolutely. You can reach us at 844-424-6758.
All right, Nathan, it was great talking with you today, and we hope to catch up with you again soon.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
That again was Nathan Cardwell of agmarket.net. We'll go ahead and take a look at how those numbers close. That's courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. At the close, September corn is down 11.5 at 5.64 1/4. December corn down 9 1/4 at 5.64 1/4. August soybeans up 16 even at 14.34 1/2. November soybeans up 14 1/4 at 13.15 3/4. Soybean meal down 3.60 at 3.99.30. Soy oil up 1.66 at 58.83. Chicago wheat is down 47 1/4 at 7.59 even. Minneapolis spring wheat down 41.5 at 8.71 even. Kansas City hard red wheat down 41 even at 8.20 1/4. And September oats down 21 even at 4.52 1/2. On the Merc, August live cattle up 165 at 137.37. August feeders up 327 at 181.55. Lean hogs up 240 at 118.70. Pork cutout up 262 at 124.75. And Class 3 milk down a penny at 22.53. And that's been a check of the Ag Market Recap here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, we'll have a bit from our talk with Iowa State Fair CEO Gary Slater. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Well, like I said earlier, we had the chance to talk with Iowa State Fair CEO Gary Slater today. Of course, we talked a lot about just having the second year back from the pandemic, some new things you can see this year, as well as a bit on the new fair foods. Well, we are here today talking with Iowa State Fair CEO Gary Slater. Just a bit of a preview of this year's fair, which is already happening next month. Can't believe that's coming up already. Of course, the best time of the year is the Iowa State Fair. And, we're coming back from, last year was the first year back from the pandemic, and now this is the second year. A lot of adjustments that have been made, really getting back to that sense of normalcy. So, what are some things that maybe we learned from last year coming back from that pandemic and how things are changed, but they're still just the same old Iowa State Fair?
Last year I said it was harder to build the fair because it was 2 years since we had done the fair, and so trying to remember how was that situated and where was this, and but when we opened the gates, people came like crazy. I think because nothing else had been open, and they were excited about the Iowa State Fair because we were open this past year. Now this year, a whole different set of circumstances, I think. One is with the challenges to hiring enough staff for the Iowa State Fair. And we had that same thing last year. We thought that would maybe even out a little bit, but I don't know as it has this year. So again, it's challenges. But what we all are seeing is that the entertainment in the local environment here of the metro area and all across Iowa everybody's wide open. And so there may be a little bit more of competition among that, but of course everybody looks forward to the Iowa State Fair. All the county fairs are doing well. I've been to a number of them myself this summer and heard reports, and seems like everybody's excited about having these things going on in either their home county, and then of course anticipating the Iowa State Fair coming up in just a little over 2 weeks.
Right, and I think you touched on something that's been really important about having the fair, come back in full force, is that this was a normal thing. I mean, it's a tradition to go to the fair, and it's a tradition for a lot of people, and we saw last year, a lot of people showed out for it.
We did, and last year we were just short of 1.1 million people. This year, I think it'll be right in that same number. The economy will challenge us, I think, but maybe gas prices have fallen just a little bit in the last couple of weeks. I think that's a good thing for the fair. But maybe some people with $4.50 gas haven't gone out of state, and maybe they'll take their vacations to in-state to the Iowa State Fair. With as many people that may be cutting back or having to cut back, maybe not come 5 days of the fair, they'll come 3. I think all of that will wash itself out and equal out so that we'll still have a great fair.
Right, of course with those, we've been talking a lot at this station of high input costs and everybody kind of dialing back and trying to make the most of what they have. But with the fair, I mean, just a great value opportunity. You go to the fair and there's so much to do, so many things to see. What are some of the things that are possibly new this year that people could look forward to, at this fair?
Well, we have every year we change out the entertainment. We have new carnival rides, new entertainment in the grandstand, or different entertainment in the grandstand. So all of that is new and different this year. Maybe one of the things that we didn't do last year because of COVID is the farm to fair dinner that we have, and it depicts from an ag education standpoint our importance of agriculture and those farmers throughout Iowa that raise foodstuffs and raise animals that are the breadbasket of the world, really. And we want to draw attention to that. Yes, it's only 500 people that are fed that day, which is a lot, but at the same time, with the million people coming to the Iowa State Fair, maybe not that much, but it's an important statement about Iowa and about how our number one gross product in the state is agriculture, and how important we are to feeding the world today. And I think the fair goes hand in hand with that. Yes, we're full of entertainment. We're full of lots of different fun things to do. Number one reason people come to the fair is new foods. And we had that contest earlier this week, and you and I were talking earlier. We're all excited about some of those new foods coming. But really, the fair is about agriculture, 4-H and FFA, and that ag education that none of the other venues of entertainment throughout have that tie, and we're proud of that, and we showcase that.
Right, and believe me, we'll get back to the fair foods later, but right now let's touch a little more on that melding of modern and just the consumer with agriculture. And of course, the fair started as the show barns and has expanded so much since then. And one of those improvements that's happened in recent years is the 4-H building. We just talked about that. I remember when I was in 4-H, it was the old 4-H building. So, there were some parts of it that, you could tell were a little older when you were going through working exhibits and being backstage a little bit. But now with the new building in there, I mean, what a great opportunity for those 4-H kids to be able to use that, have their exhibits in there, and even have those working exhibits and other presentations.
The opportunities that we've had with that, working in partnership with the Jacobson Foundation and the state legislature in providing capital improvement funding, we were able to complete that renovation to that building before last year's fair. We're excited to debut it. We had our opening ceremonies there. Governor Reynolds was there to help us dedicate the building and open the fair kind of at the same time. And so about $14 million renovation to that building, and it hadn't had a lot done, like you said, for about 70 years. And so we're really excited about it. It's a workhorse building for us all year long, housing lots of events in the off season, as well as being the center for 4-H exhibits during the Iowa State Fair.
Right, and we talked, beforehand a little as well of, maybe a change that's a little more minor, but still a great change is for the tractor pulls, just having a roof out there. And like you said, at the peak of the afternoon, they have shade over all the seats. And it's just little things like that to increase the comfort, get more people out there and just enjoy fair activities.
One of the things that we have done, it was a 3-phase renovation to that side of the fairgrounds, maybe the north of the fairgrounds. We renovated the Midway area 7 or 8 years ago. Expanding that, we were able to bring in better and newer and maybe more upscale carnival rides and games. And then we were able to enlarge our grandstand, was the second phase of that. Went from 11,000 people maximum to now 17,500. Last year we had 2 entertainers, Chris Stapleton and Blake Shelton, that drew more than 17,000 people. So that renovation was certainly, we took advantage of that with that and had very popular entertainment that people came and supported. And now also last year we were able to renovate the area next to the grandstand for an outdoor entertainment area. It's Elwell Family Park, and we brought back the tractor pull, which we had not had in about 3 years. We were able to have a monster truck show. This year we're having motocross, and then the demolition derby, which people just love to see, and it's kind of something that everybody brings their kids to see. Who better than to watch everybody crash their cars on a Saturday afternoon?
That again was Iowa State Fair CEO Gary Slater. Right now, let's take a look at that ag weather outlook. Well, right now at the Iowa State Fairgrounds, it's pretty hot and humid today. Of course, we are looking at a chance for storms overnight, a slight chance. Most of that rain chance is actually for tomorrow, and a bit of that heat sticking around, and hopefully will go away by the time we get to when the fair's actually going on here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, we could see a chance for some thunderstorms this weekend, but it's mostly going to be pretty hot. Today there'll be morning showers pushing off for sunny skies and very warm temperatures, those highs ranging from the upper 80s to upper 90s. Tonight we'll have variably cloudy skies with a chance of thunderstorms statewide, lows ranging from the upper 60s to lower 70s. And tomorrow we'll have mostly sunny skies with a chance of thunderstorms. It'll be hot. There's a heat advisory for the southern counties as well, highs ranging from the low to upper 90s. And taking a look at the affiliate weather map right now, as you can see for tomorrow, Cherokee will be partly cloudy with a chance for rain and a high of 96. Shenandoah sunny and a high of 99. Des Moines sunny as well with a high of 97. Waterloo partly cloudy and a chance for storms with a high of 94. Albia sunny and 99. And Clinton will be partly cloudy, that same chance for storms again, and a high of 87. For more detailed forecasts in your part of the state, make sure to check in with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook, and that also brings us to the end of this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, and you can find all of our videos as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our twice-free daily market podcasts on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines and from the Iowa State Fairgrounds today, I'm Riley Smith. For Avery Haskell and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.